Hey everyone, I'm Chris and welcome back to the North Haven News. Now you may be wondering why I'm wearing shades. Well, today's episode is all about the sun. The North Haven Clean Energy Task Force hosted a solar energy forum at the library on January 9th for anyone interested in this type of renewable energy for their homes. The standing room only meeting kicked off with Chairman Hugh Davis delivering some exciting news about the task force efforts to get residents to sign up for the clean energy option on their utility bills.
And as a result of those 300 plus signups, the town should be getting 4 solar panels for the high school in the next few weeks, which will provide considerable energy for electricity from the sun.
First Selectman Michael Frieda then spoke briefly about his hopes for the town and its commitment to solar energy.
Through the collaborative efforts of the Commission, our citizens, we are really hoping that North Haven can move up the ranks, if you will, and get a little bit higher towards our goal of 20% by the 2010. I really believe, in conjunction with the Commission members, that this is the future. This is the future not only for us in North Haven, but also for us in the United States.
So there are basically 2 types of solar panels, photovoltaic or PV and solar thermal. Bill Kolonis, project manager at the CT Clean Energy Fund, explains the difference.
I'll go over each technology. PV panels, in the simplest form, produce electricity for your home. Doesn't matter what you're running at your house. It can be refrigerators, lights, TVs, whatever. It is only producing electricity. Solar hot water collectors, exactly what they're describing. They create hot water for whatever the reason you might want. You can do it for space heating, you can do it for pool heating, you can do it for hot water. Our funds are only used to produce hot water.
Now, a third type of renewable energy source that he touched upon was geothermal, which uses the relative consistent temperature of the ground to handle your home's heating and cooling needs.
Geo's for heating and cooling. If you want to talk to me about Geo, we can do it afterwards. How about that? It's a great technology, excellent technology. It applies to any home. You don't need to have a south-facing roof. This is one of my favorites, okay? This is one of the first ones I would choose. This is actually an electric consumer, however, but you don't need your oil anymore. You don't need your natural gas anymore, okay? This is a fantastic technology for people. Very expensive up front. However, it has one of the best paybacks depending on how you use your heating and cooling. It's actually even better on cooling than it is on heating. It's more efficient than your central air conditioner for the most part.
The state of Connecticut received $20 million in federal stimulus funds to put toward renewable energy projects. There are rebate programs available for both PV and solar thermal projects that will help offset sometimes as much as 40 to 50% of the cost of installing these systems on your home. Now you can find out more about these rebates and a lot of good information about solar energy on the Clean Energy Fund's website at ctcleanenergy.com. Now, just because you run out and install one of these systems on your home doesn't mean you'll be able to cancel your UI subscription and stop paying your bill every month. Usually, you're only able to offset a portion of your bill, and the payoff for these systems is usually seen over many years.
The majority of households that I go into, people have very high usage and very limited viable roof space. More often than not, we are only offsetting a percentage of people's electricity, which is fine. I mean, in a perfect world, obviously, we would love to offset 100% of people's use. But the reality is utility rates are going to continue to increase. And as much as, if you're offsetting 50% of your electricity bill, well, then you are basically immune to utility rate increases on 50% of your bill. So it's very common to not be able to offset 100%, and that's okay, I suppose.
The other thing was, the question was asked is, are you doing this to save money? Because if you're doing this to, like I say, run down to the bank and cash in, forget it, all right? The payoff for a PV system is more around 10 years. With the increase in rates of electricity, I can get it down a little bit less, and also just conservation efforts there.
So if there was one thing, however, that I took away from this meeting, it was this: conservation is king. It's really the #1 thing you gotta think about. Every speaker said the same thing. Before you even consider a PV or solar thermal system, look for ways to conserve within your existing home and daily routines.
The most important thing you can do is conservation. So, I mean, putting the solar panels on and all that is, you know, glitzy, it's real, to me it's exciting. However, the most important thing you're gonna do is conserve already what you have. If it is changing light bulbs to CFL, LED,
Everyone said here, if you remember 3 things or a couple things from everyone here, every single speaker has talked about conservation first, okay? Just make sure that's your number 1 thing. Honestly, not just the bulbs, but go beyond that. Keep educating yourself.
One of the best ways you can find out how and where you can conserve is to get a home energy audit. For around $75, someone will come in and look for things like cracks in your home where heat is escaping, poor insulation, and old energy inefficient appliances and light bulbs. Before you think about spending tens of thousands of dollars on a solar system, look for some simple, inexpensive ways to conserve first. And you can find out more information about home energy audits at ctenergyinfo.com. And hey, that brings us to the end of this bright and sunny episode of North Haven News. As always, your questions, comments, and feedback can be sent to northavennews@gmail.com, and I'll see you next time, right? Bye.